Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is May 27th, and we've had/have some crazy win and loss streaks going on, but no bigger loss than Ronald Acuna Jr. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today? It is Monday, the start of another week, the start of the last week of May. We got two more May episodes before we hit up June and begin kind of the start of All-Star talk as we gear up for the All-Star game and everything. It was a good weekend of baseball, good games to watch, some big comebacks, some, ones that got away for some teams. Still a little bit sick, so not as bad as Friday, but we'll give it a all here again once today. And with that being said, let's start off with our series recap. Leading off now, we've got the Brewers and the Red Sox. The Brewers score 3 runs in an inning twice, including William Contreras' 8th home run on the year. They end up taking the opener of the set. They beat the Red Sox 7-2. The Brewers then get to Nick Pivetta and the Red Sox early as they score 5 runs in the 3rd inning, and they don't look back from there. Bryce Terang homers later on for some insurance, and the Brewers take another one 6-3. And the last game would have some tension as the benches would end up clearing in this one between Chris Martin and the Brewers' first base coach. Interestingly enough, later on, it's tied in at 8. We're tied in the 8th inning. The Red Sox break that tie. Jarren Duran, a single that gets them the lead. Kenley Jansen locks down the save. The Red Sox win it. They avoid the sweep to the Brewers, beating them 2-1. Royals at Rays now. Seth Lugo continues to be great. Both Michael Massey and Bobby Witt Jr. homer in this one. The Royals run away with it and end it with a win. They take it 8-1. A home run from Nelson Velasquez, and how about one for Jonathan Aranda, his first of the year. We would have a close game that would be tied after 9, and after both teams scored in the 10th, the Royals put up 3 in the 11th and used former Ray Nick Anderson to come in and get his first save of the year versus his former team. The Royals take another one. They win it in extras 7-4. Bobby Witt Jr. hits another home run in the series, but the Rays would finally be able to answer with 4 runs in the 7th to take the lead as Brandon Lau delivers a bases-clearing triple. The Rays end the Royals' 8-game win streak. Yes, you heard that right. They avoid the sweep. Rays win 4-1. Oilers and White Sox now. The Oilers were in control all game, taking a 6-run lead into the 9th after getting home runs from Anthony Santander and Jorge Mateo. The White Sox come storming back with 4 runs in the inning. Then, with 1 out and runners on first and second, Andrew Benintendi skies one into the infield, leading to an infield fly. But while shortstop Gunnar ran in to make the catch, he moved slightly around the runner at second. The ump then called that interference and called the runner at second out, one of the worst ways to end a ball game. The league even came out and said the umps got that one wrong and the game should not have ended on that. Either way, the White Sox do fall short in their comeback. Baltimore wins the first of 4, 8-6. Gunnar Henderson homers for the 17th time of the year. Tied up later on, it was Adley in the 8th with the go-ahead 2-run single that put the O's on top. That leads them to another win, 6-4. Baltimore gets all their runs off of 3 home runs in the 8th inning as Ryan O'Hearn, Anthony Santander, and Jordan Westbrook all go deep. The O's take another game, 5-3. And for the last game, Baltimore gets home runs from Adley's for his 10th of the year and Colton Cowser's for his 7th of the year. The White Sox only got 1 hit. It was a Danny Mendick home run, but that was all. Baltimore complete control of the series. They earn themselves the 4-game sweep over the White Sox. They win it 4-1. Now we've got the Blue Jays and the Tigers, and the Blue Jays offense has been better as of late as IKF, Dalton Varsho, and Vladdy Guerrero Jr. all homer in this one. The Blue Jays win the first of 4. They beat the Tigers 9-1. Special moment in Game 2 as Colt Keith hits his first MLB home run of his career. The Tigers get to Manoah as Kerry Carpenter also hits a home run in this one. Tigers even the series up, win it 6-2. Reese Olson and Jose Barrios had a great pitchers duel as Barrios' only mistake was a 2-run home run given up in the first to Kerry Carpenter. The Jays' streaky offense goes from hot to cold like that, and the Tigers take the game. They win it 2-1. The last game was something, as the Tigers had a 5-run lead after 5 with Torkelson and Carson Kelly hitting home runs. The Jays started scoring runs in the 4th, and from that point on, they scored at least 1 run in every inning from the 4th to the 9th. But as they scored runs, they were also giving up runs. Matt Vierling goes deep in the 6th for the Tigers. IKF made it a 3-run game with his 4th of the year and 2nd home run of the series. We entered the 8th inning. The Jays finally do it. They score 5 runs in the inning to take the lead, capped off by the go-ahead 3-run home run by Dalton Varsho. That lead lasted all about 10 to 15 minutes because the Tigers scored 2 runs in their half of the inning to tie the game up. Before we entered the 9th, Blue Jays don't score. Matt Vierling in the 9th crushed a 3-run walk-off home run, his 2nd home run of the game. The Blue Jays blow this series for themselves. The Tigers take 3 of 4 from them as they win this crazy game 14-11. Rangers at Twins now. Corey Seager getting hot as he hits his 9th home run of the year for Texas, but the Twins would answer, and then in the bottom of the 4th, Alex Kirilloff would hit the go-ahead home run for the Twins. There would be no more runs scored from that point on as the bullpens went to work. The Twins take the first game 3-2, and then what's better than a go-ahead game-winning home run? Well, how about 2 of them? As the Twins entered the 8th down a run, and Alex Kirilloff did it again, crushing a 3-run go-ahead home run that would help them get the lead. The Twins win another one thanks to Kirilloff. They take it 5-3, but that would not happen again as Corey Seager hits 2 more home runs in this game, bringing him up to 11 on the year, 3 in the series, and how about 6 in his last 6 days. Texas takes it and avoids the sweep to the Twins. They win it 6-2. Guardians and Angels now. The Guardians bring their home run pop to Angels Stadium as Jose Ramirez hits 2 home runs, and he is joined by Josh Naylor and David Fry as those 4 homers lead the Guardians to the win. They take it 10-4. Jose Ramirez does it again with a 2-run home run in the second for his second game. For his 3rd of the series, his 50th and 51st RBIs on the year. That makes him the first to break 50 RBIs. The Guardians win another one 4-2. And for the last game, the Guardians score 3 in the 6th and go do their thing from there because the Angels scored 2 in the 9th. They make it a 1-run game. They just didn't have enough to get that last run. Cleveland sweeps another series. They are now on a 9-game winning streak. It's the second best one we've seen this year behind the Twins earlier on. They take it 5-4. Astros and A's now. Verlander strikes out 9 over 6 strikes out 9 over 6 innings, while Jake Myers hits a 3-run home run for the Astros, who come to the Coliseum and get their first game. Astros win it 6-3. JP Sears does a great job holding the Astros to only 1 run, as Brent Rooker gets a 2-run double in the first, and the A's don't look back from there. They even up this series with the win 3-1. Rubber match would go the Astros' way with Ronald Blanco back pitching in his first game back from suspension. The Astros scored 5 runs in the 4th, capped off by a 2-run home run from Kyle Tucker. Astros take 2 of 3 from the A's. They win it 5-2. Mariners and Nationals now. The Nationals hit 3 home runs from Luis Garcia, Keibert Ruiz, and Eddie Rosario. As they get to George Kirby and the Mariners aren't able to answer, the Nats take game 1 6-1. The Mariners got 1 lone run on a Julio solo shot for his 3rd of the year. The Nats scored 2 in the 7th, which was good enough to lead as they win it and take this one 3-1. And how about another game, another Julio solo shot, but this time he wasn't alone as Ty France also goes deep The Nationals came back in the 7th with 4 runs in the inning as CJ Abrams hit a 3-run go-ahead home run. Seattle, though, would not go down without a fight. They battled and rallied back for 5 runs in the last 2 innings. The Mariners win it and avoid the sweep to the Nats. They take it 9-5. Giants and Mets now, and the Mets were in complete control of the first game with JD Martinez, Mark Vientos, and Pete Alonso all going deep, but the Giants came roaring back in this one with 5 runs in the 8th inning as Patrick Bailey hit the go-ahead grand slam to get the Giants the lead. Mike Yastrzemski hit an insurance home run in the 9th, which turned to be important as the Mets were able to score a run in the 9th, but not the other one, so the Giants now have won 3 straight, all of which they were trailing by 4 or more runs. They come back. The Giants take the opener 8-7. The Mets up 1 in the 9th after Starling Marte and Brett Baty both homered in this game. Edwin Diaz comes back to the closer role looking for the save and instead blows his 3rd straight save chance with Lamont Wade Jr. coming up the game-tying single. We head to extras and the Giants put it on. 5 runs in the inning, capped off by a bases-clearing triple from Mike Yastrzemski. The Giants take another win in comeback fashion. They've won 4 straight when they've been losing. The last game, that game goes 7-2. Giants, the last game, it was the Mets' turn to come back as they were down 2 entering the 9th. Harrison Bader hit the game-tying double, and then Omar Narvaez delivered with the walk-off single to win it. The Mets, after losing 2 games in which they had late leads, come back in the last one and win it on a walk-off to avoid the sweep to the Giants. Mets take it 4-3. Braves and Pirates now. The Pirates built a pretty tall lead slowly throughout this game as they had scored 11 runs unanswered. So when the Braves scored 5 runs in the 8th off a Ronald Acuna Jr. home run and a Travis d'Arnaud double, the Pirates still had a comfortable lead. They end up taking the first game 11-5. Mitch Keller pitches well, holding the Braves to 1 run as the Pirates scored 2 in the 4th and add insurance in the 7th. The Pirates take back-to-back games versus the Braves. They win it 4-1. This game didn't start good after a Ronald Acuna Jr. double to lead off the game. He attempted to steal third, held up, got stuck, and never got there. He went down on a non-contact injury. He was helped off the field and did not look good from there. Matt Olson and Adam Duvall would homer in this one. The Braves did win it and avoid the sweep to the Pirates, but the concern was with their NL MVP from last year. Braves win 8-1. Cubs and Cardinals. This series supposed to start on the Friday, but with rain, that game was now to be played on July 13th. So it's now a 2-game set, and the Cardinals are debuting their City Connect jerseys on the field, and it's provided some teams with some luck. Would it do so for them here? Well, it just might have, as they entered the 8th down a run before scoring 4 runs in the inning to take the lead with some insurance that proved important. The Cubs scored 2 in the 9th, but not that 3rd run. The Cardinals would win it 7-6. And the other game came down to 2 players, Paul Goldschmidt and Ian Happ. Both men drove in all of the runs for their respective teams, and both hit 2 home runs in the game. The difference? Both of Paul Goldschmidt's home runs were 2-run shots, while Ian Happ had a 2-run shot, but also had a solo shot. That lack of a base runner was the difference, but thankfully those 2 home runs won me my fantasy this week. The Cardinals get the win. They sweep the 2-game set. They beat the Cubs 4-3. Dodgers and Reds now. A really fun game between these two as Spencer Steer hits a first inning 3-run home run. Dodgers answer with 4 in the 2nd and later add with Will Smith going deep. The Reds then answer with 6 runs in the 5th as Stuart Fairchild hits a solo shot, and then later on in the inning, Jonathan India hits the go-ahead grand slam. The Reds hold on and win it 9-6. Spencer Steer and Will Benson with the home runs in this one as Hunter Greene and the Reds pen hold the Dodgers to 1 run. The Reds take another game 3-1. And then how about this? The Reds score 4 runs off of Yamamoto in the 3rd, and that's all they would need as the Dodgers get swept. Who would have thought? A huge series sweep for the Reds. They sweep the Dodgers and win it 4-1. The Yankees at Padres now. Soto returns to Petco Park to the sound of boos from the Friar Fight faithful, but I don't think that bothered him as he hit his 14th home run of the year, and right behind him is Aaron Judge, who goes back-to-back with him. Later on, it's Giancarlo Stanton and Gleyber Torres. Yu Darvish gives up 4 home runs to the Yankees, who take the series opener with a big win, 8-0. Game 2, Judge homers again. The Padres struggle once again to score runs against Stroman and the Yankees pitching. They take another game, beating San Diego 4-1. And in the last game, it's a big 4-run 6th inning for the Padres. That was the difference in this game, as they were able to get the win and avoid the sweep to the Yankees. Padres take it 5-2. Marlins and D-backs now. Braxton Garrett is the story of Game 1 as he pitches a complete game shutout versus the D-backs to open up this series strong for Miami, who had Jake Berger homer in this game. The Finns take it 3-0. The Diamondbacks in the second game scored a quick 3 runs early in the first 2 innings and trusted Montgomery and their bullpen to hold that lead, and lucky for them, they did. Arizona evens up the series with the win. They take it 3-2. The Diamondbacks once again struggle to put up runs against the Marlins pitchers. Meanwhile, the Marlins score 3 runs in the 7th off of a fielder's choice and a single, and that was good enough for the win. Miami takes 2 of 3 from the Diamondbacks, who continue to struggle. They win the rubber match 3-1. And lastly, here we have the Phillies at the Rockies. Nick Castellanos and Edmundo Sosa homer for the Phillies, but in the 9th, down 1, it's Jacob Stallings hitting the game-tying home run, his 3rd of the year. Sends us to extras, where in the 11th, it was Ezequiel Tovar, the hero. He delivers the walk-off single to win it for the Rockies. They beat the Phillies on a walk-off in extras 3-2. This game, it was Phillies' turn to come back as they were down 1 entering the 9th and proceeded to blow open this one with 6 runs in the 9th inning, including a Bryce Harper home run, his 13th of the year. The Phillies win it 8-4. And for the rubber match, the Rockies score 5 runs in the first 2 innings off of Ranger Suarez, of all pitchers, with the help of a Ryan McMahon home run. And from there, they proceed to hold the Phillies as the Rockies hand Ranger Suarez his first loss of the year. And it's the Rockies, the second worst team in baseball, taking 2 of 3 from the best team in baseball. And that's baseball for you. No other way to say it. Rockies win it. They take it 5-2. Now to our game of the weekend, and we're going to Detroit for the Blue Jays and Tigers on Sunday. What a crazy game. And I'll get started on the bottom of the second. Javi Baez, a 2-run double, and then Andy Ibanez, a 2-run single. It makes it 4-0 Detroit. Bottom third, how about Spencer Torkelson? His 4th home run of the year, solo shot, makes it 5-0. Before the Blue Jays get on the board in the top of the 4th, Kevin Biggio, home run number 2 on the year, makes it 5-2. It's a 2-run shot. Then top 5, Justin Turner, he grounds out, but a run comes in to score. That makes it 5-3. So the Blue Jays have already closed the gap a little bit. Bottom 5, Carson Kelly, his 2nd home run of the year, a 3-run shot, makes it 8-3. The 5-run gap is back. Top 6, Davis Schneider, a sac fly, makes it 8-4. And then Vladdy singles in a run, making it 8-5. And look who it is, Matt Vierling, home run number 4 on the year, makes it 9-5. Detroit with the lead. Top 7, IKF, his 4th home run of the year, makes it 9-6. Down 3, the top of the 8th. This is where the magic happens for the Jays briefly, as Bo Bichette singles in 2 to make it 9-8. And then Dalton Varsho, his 10th home run of the year, the 3-run shot, I go ahead, makes it from down 9-8 to now 11-9. The Jays have come back from a 5-run deficit, have a 2-run lead. Bottom 8th, Mark Canha, the 2-run single, ties the game up at 11-11. Jays don't score. The bullpen blows it as Romano comes in. 2 runners on. Vierling hits home run number 5, his 2nd of the game, the walk-off 3-run home run. Detroit takes the game of the weekend, 14-11, beating the Jays. And that is your game of the weekend. Alrighty, starting our baseball news for the episode here. Obviously, we have to talk about Ronald Acuna Jr. He goes down yesterday with an injury. He comes off the field. It turns out later on in the day, they say that it is a torn ACL and that he is going to be done for the year. That is a huge blow for the Braves, really. Obviously, for Acuna as well. I mean, he has had quite a career when he's healthy, but he's also had quite the career when he's not healthy as well. 2021 he tore his ACL. 2022 he wasn't fully there because he was still recovering from his ACL. Last year he's healthy, he wins the MVP, and then this year he tears his ACL again, his second ACL tear. 22, 23 years old to now 26 years old. I mean, when he's been healthy, he's been one of the best players over the last 5, years or so. But he hasn't just been fully healthy there, and this is a huge blow to a Braves team that's already been dealing with a lot of injuries. We had the start of the season with Spencer Strider and him being out for the year with his internal brace and his elbow surgery that he needed to get. Austin Riley, he's been injured in the last couple of games. Sean Murphy has been hurt as well. Both of which, though, Austin Riley and Sean Murphy, are coming off the IL, coming back from injury. They're going to be in the lineup for today's game. Which is a big thing for the Braves here to get those two guys back. You lose Acuna, you get Riley and Murphy back. Obviously not ideal, but at least it's still something. But you have to kind of wonder now what the play is here going forward for the Braves. They've been kind of rocking a similar team. They have Travis d'Arnaud and Chadwick Trump on the bench, who are both catchers, who've been kind of platooning while Murphy's been hurt. But now that Murphy's back, they're both on the bench now. Zach Short has been playing third base for the Braves since Austin Riley's been hurt, but now Riley's back, so he's now on the bench. And they just have called up JP Martinez to be their fourth outfielder for, backing up Acuna. The way they had been doing it with Marcell Ozuna as the DH, they've been having Michael Harris in the second in center field, Acuna in right, and then platooning Jared Kelenic and Adam Duvall in left field, depending if it's a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher. Now no longer the case. Duvall and Kelenic are probably going to be more now everyday guys with Acuna being out. Kelenic in left field and Duvall in right, it looks like. That's what they have for the lineup today. But yeah, you have to kind of wonder, what is this going to mean going forward? Because if Kelenic starts to struggle, if Duvall starts to struggle, who's the farm system? Who's going to be the guy who comes out and kind of helps the team? And to be honest with you, there's no notable names for me here. Forrest Wall maybe is a guy who has gotten some time and has played the outfield a little bit. Joey Wendell, I think they signed / DFA'd him. I'm not sure what that all is about. But yeah, so you have to kind of wonder what the Braves are going to do here. We'll see. But not pretty right now, and obviously we wish Acuna the best recovery he can be, and hopefully he does not get any more injuries once he recovers from this one, because he is too good to be a what-if of baseball. All right, now moving on, let's talk about the Brewers and Red Sox yesterday with their benches, clearing in the game. At the end of the top of the seventh, after Yelich grounds out to end it, Quinton Berry, the first base coach there for the Brewers, and Chris Martin, it looked like, were there exchanging words. I'm not sure exactly kind of why it started or how it started. It ends up being the bench was cleared. Christian Yelich obviously was nearby as well was Dominic Smith. So kind of the four of them kind of engaged in the conflict and kind of got everything escalated and got the benches to clear. But what was really cool, I'm going to say cool, about the bench clearing here was that at one shot, they go to that full pan away shot where you see everyone kind of in the mix there. You see a boom mic in the mix there with a camera. Obviously, we know from the beginning of the season that the Red Sox are having this year being made into a documentary kind of series, of the ups and downs of a season. and it looked like they were there for that, which is a really cool thing to have. So obviously, we assume that when the documentary comes out at the end of the year, or when it eventually comes out, we're gonna have kind of players' thoughts and reactions like live time now, but like obviously in the future, as well as possibly some words that were exchanged in the fight. You can kind of hear, maybe hopefully, kind of what can go down in those bench clearings. Obviously, not everyone's there yelling and screaming at each other. Some guys are just saying, "Hey, how's it going? Good to see you." If they were all teammates, maybe even. But to see that in that shot was really cool, because it's just like, okay, we have something on it. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see for that, but that was definitely a cool sight to see. And yeah, bench is cleared. That's baseball. Next, nobody's that interested in that one, I would say, besides maybe some respective teams. It was like a small little banter thing. But anyways, here, let's talk about some streaky teams now, because we, all of a sudden, baseball is kind of hot, and there are some teams that were extremely hot here, and cold. Let's specify that. I know we're going to do our standings check, but I mean, this is a great day in general for it, because I got a lot to really talk about when you think about kind of how good the AL Central has been. I mean, the Tigers took 3 or 4 from the Jays, the Twins won their series, the Royals won their series, the Guardians swept. Like, all these teams right now, besides the Tigers, are above 500 by a few amount of games here. And what's really tough, I guess, for some of these teams here is that they're all winning. You go back to Saturday, the Royals were on an 8-game winning streak. The Guardians were on an 8-game winning streak. So that means the Royals, who are a game and a half back, made up no progress because the Guardians kept winning. In fact, they lost the game because on Sunday the Royals lost and the Guardians won. So the Royals end their 8-game winning streak, and the Guardians get a 9-game winning streak. They have the best win streak right now. And after, 10 days of baseball, the Royals started a game and a half back, win 8, and are now 2.5 games back. Like, that is still crazy to me. The Guardians and Royals right now are playing at an unbelievable level. The Twins, they're trying to come back a little bit. They're 6.5 back of the Guardians. They've kind of faltered a little bit. They were on a 4-game winning streak before they lost yesterday. Guess what? They made up no games because the Guardians kept winning. So, I mean, kudos to the Guardians, because when the teams behind them are winning, and they have to as well. And they did that, and they're going to try to make it 10 with a win today. The Dodgers and the White Sox, both on 5-game losing streaks. Not the company you want to be with if you're LA. But I mean, when you look at the division, the Diamondbacks, they've been kind of mediocre. Padres, they lost a series to the Yankees. It's been the Giants, really, who have had the kind of best odds here against the Dodgers with their losing streak. The Giants were on a 4-game winning streak before they lost to the Mets in comeback fashion on Sunday. But the Giants had been playing really good as of late. They were winning games in comeback fashion before obviously giving up the one on Sunday. But the Giants have taken full advantage. They're now tied with the Padres for second, really. And, if the Dodgers keep losing, who knows what that means. But one of these teams needs to take the opportunity. The Padres, they get Miami. The Giants are getting Philly coming up this week. So, Padres, the door is open for you guys. Let's see what you guys can do there. The AL West has been super mediocre. If you go back to Saturday, both the Seattle and Texas were on big losing streaks. Seattle had lost 4 straight. Rangers had lost 6 straight. Both of these teams were able to win on Sunday. Astros, they had a chance to take 3 games against Oakland, takes 2 instead, so they only get 1 game up. But they're now half a game back of the Rangers. So, I mean, we talked about Houston and their struggle streak and how, this could be the end of the Astros. I mean, it's not when Seattle and Texas isn't doing anything to get away from them. If one of these teams had taken off and have gone flying like the Yankees had, like Baltimore had, we're talking about a different story completely. They're the only team in baseball that doesn't have a team with 30 wins in the division. The NL Central has the Brewers with 30 wins, and yet Seattle, Texas, all these teams don't have a team with 30 wins. I mean, it's really tough go of things right now for those AL West teams. Someone needs to get going here. And I mean, speaking of your NL West or your NL Central, how about your Cardinals? They have won they've won 5 straight games. They won 2 against the Cubs. They could have maybe won all 3. The Cubs right now on a 4-game losing streak, while the Cardinals behind them on a 5-game win streak. They have now closed the gap between them by a game now. It separates the Cubs and Cardinals for second place. And the Reds obviously sweeping the Dodgers. That's crazy for them. They're still last in that division, but on a 3-game winning streak looking to get going. All that we'll go over once again in the standings check, but there are some really streaky teams right now, for some better and for some worse. And, we got to see kind of what's going to happen here as we enter into the months of June. But yeah, big winners, Guardians, man. Imagine the Royals winning 8 straight and it means nothing because the Guardians won 9. That is tough. All right, now time for our hot and colds for the week here. Laying things off, it's Aaron Judge again. He stays hot. 9 for 24, 3 doubles, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, 9 runs, 5 walks, and a 1.467 OPS. Behind him, Jose Ramirez, 8 for 23, 2 doubles, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, 7 runs, a 1.380 OPS. Bobby Witt Jr., 10 for 26, 2 doubles, 4 home runs for him as well, 11 RBIs for him as well, 6 runs, a 1.356 OPS. And then how about those Jays? Bo Bichette, 13 for 29, 3 doubles, a home run, 7 RBIs, 4 runs, and a 1.103 OPS. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 11 for 27, 3 doubles, a home run, 5 RBIs, 6 runs, 5 walks, and a 1.130 OPS. Will these two be Jays at the end of the season? The cold players now, Joe Adell from your Angels, 2 for 25 with 10 strikeouts. Yikes. Bryson Stott, 2 for 23 with 2 strikeouts. Marcus Semien, 3 for 25 with 4 Ks. Zach Short, 2 for 22 with 5 Ks. And then Anthony Santander may have hit 2 home runs this weekend, but he's still 3 for 22 with 10 Ks and struggling a little bit. Injury updates. There's not much to update on. Ronald Acuna Jr. is out for the year. Out for the year. We talked about that. And the only other injury was Dean Creamer for Baltimore with a strained tricep. He will head to the IL as well, and hopefully he's able to, be back with the team shortly, because Baltimore, they're going to need all they can. Outstanding performances, a shorter list than usual. Braxton Garrett, the complete game shutout, 9 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 6 Ks. Kevin Gausman, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 10 Ks. Reese Olson, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. Luis Severino, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 6 Ks. Marcus Stroman, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 5 Ks. Kyle Bradish, 7 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 4 walks, 11 Ks. Logan Webb, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, a walk, 8 Ks. Tanner Hyuk, 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 7 Ks. And then Ronel Blanco back from suspension, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 6 Ks. All right, now our standings check here. As we look at the AL East, your Yankees still lead it by 2 games. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They're 37-18 on the year. They've played 4 more games than Baltimore and have won all those 4 extra games. Baltimore has the same amount of losses, just 4 less wins. But they're 6-4, 4-game winning streak from Baltimore. Can they keep it up? They're beating Boston right now 7-0, so I would say that's about to be a 5-game winning streak. Boston right behind them at 27-26, and at the rate they're at right now is going to be 27-27. Rays in 4th at 26-28, and the Blue Jays 23-29 continue to struggle, a 3-game losing streak for them. AL Central, the Guardians lead the way. That 9-game winning streak, 9-1 in their last 10. They play Colorado. Can they continue to play hot baseball for them? At the rate they're at, they might be the first team at 40 wins. Kansas City, though, slowly behind them. Can they make a run for the postseason this year? It's about time to start looking at them as contenders. They're 34-20, 2.5 games back. Twins, 28-24, sit third. Tigers at 26-27, looking to get back to 500. White Sox having fun at the bottom at 15-39. AL West, all AL West teams have a negative run differential. Seattle, though, 28-26, still lead the way, the only team above 500. They play Houston, so a great chance for Houston to kind of strike against the AL West top leader there. Rangers, 25-29, are in second. 24-29 are your Astros. Oakland and LA at 22-33 and 20-33 sit at the bottom of the division there. Your Phillies are still the hottest team in baseball with the wins. They're 38-16, winning percentage of 70%. Braves 30-20, 10 games above 500. They're 6 games back of the Phillies. Nationals in third at 23-28. Mets 22-30, and then the Marlins at 19-35. Your NL Central leaders are your Brewers at 30-22, 8 games above 500. Cubs, 1 game above 500. They're 27-26. The Cardinals, 1 game below 500 at 25-26. Pirates are in fourth at 25-29. And the Reds, 23-30, have a long way to go. 7.5 games back of the Brewers for first. And then your NL West, hey, your Dodgers are on a 5-game losing streak, but no one's still around because the Padres and Giants tied for second. Both are still 5.5 games back. They need the Dodgers to make that a 10-game losing streak, and for one of these teams to start rolling. Padres 28-28, Giants 27-27, Diamondbacks 25-28 on the year. They need to get going soon. And your Rockies, 18-34 at the bottom there. They're one of 3 teams who have yet to win 20 games alongside the White Sox and the Marlins. And I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams that have 30 or more wins. Everyone else in that 19-ish field number is all in the 20s with their wins. That is your standings check. Alrighty, and the last thing here for us today is the upcoming series for the week. We've had a couple of spoilers already, but we'll dive into them once again. Oakland is in Tampa, taking on the Rays. Red Sox at Oilers. Blue Jays at White Sox. Pirates at Tigers. Royals at Twins. Yankees at Angels. Astros at Mariners, D-backs at Rangers, Dodgers at Mets, Nationals at Braves, Cardinals at Reds, Cubs at Brewers, Guardians at Rockies, Marlins at Padres, and Phillies at Giants is how you round off the week here of baseball to be played. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here today. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. I appreciate you all. May almost done, and we are in full swing of baseball here. We love it. Thank you, everybody, so much, and I will see you on Friday.